Hello, everybody. We're going to talk about why prophecy. Now, as I read these texts, which I've also written here, it will come to you why prophecy is so important. The first reference is to 2 Peter 1:19, where it says, "We have also a more sure word of prophecy." It's not just a sure word, it's a more sure word. And then it says, "Whereunto ye do well that you take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place, until the day dawn, and the day star arise in your hearts." So this study of prophecy will bring light in darkness to our hearts. Now, what darkness? It's surely spiritual darkness, but darkness had come at us as it is now in the world today, where there seems to be no solution to COVID-19. The economy in the Western big countries, including Japan, are collapsing. Governments are printing money with no end in sight. Now, these are darkness. But prophecy will give us light in this darkness arising in our hearts. That's why it's important. And then 2 Peter 1:21 says this, "For the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man, but by holy men of God, spake as they were moved by the Holy Spirit." So prophecy comes from one source, God, the Holy Spirit. And we will see more and more of this. Now in Matthew 24:2, Jesus said something to his disciples. He said, "See ye not all these things?" Now what was he referring to? See ye not all these things? He was referring to the fact that the temple in Jerusalem will fall and not one stone will fall upon the other. And the disciples couldn't believe it. So Jesus referred to prophecy and said, "Why don't you know these things? See ye not all these things?" And in verse 15, in Matthew 24, he refers to the prophecy of Daniel, particularly Daniel 9:24 to 27. So for them, if they had studied, if they had known, they would have known that Jesus is the Messiah. And the temple will fall. Jerusalem will come under siege. And in AD 70, all that happened. Now in Revelations 19:10, John the Revelator writes these. He said, and this is John in vision. Okay? "And I fell at his feet, at an angel's feet," the angel that was showing him things in vision. "And I fell at the angel's feet to worship the angel. And he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and thy brethren that have the testimony of Jesus. Worship God. For the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy." So, what is prophecy, or the spirit of prophecy? It is the testimony of Jesus. In other words, Jesus tells us, testifies to us what the future holds for John, and John wrote it for our benefit now. That's the importance of prophecy. Now, that prophecy is the testimony of Christ means it reveals who Christ is. And in Revelations 1:1 it says this, "The revelation of Jesus Christ which God gave unto him, to show unto his servants things that must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John." So John wrote it for our benefit. But note this, the revelation of Jesus Christ. Revelations 1:1 says, prophecy, or the book of Revelation, is a revelation of Jesus Christ himself. Now, a lot of us Christians say, oh yes, we have a relationship with us. And that is baseline. That is so important for us. But the study of prophecy deepens our relationship. And the lack of prophecy, not knowing where in a time of darkness that the world puts upon us, is not going to, may weaken that relationship. Now, Isaiah 50:11, it says this, "Behold, all ye that kindle a fire, that compass yourselves about with the sparks, walk in the light of your fire, and in the sparks that you have kindled. This shall ye have on mine hand." This is God saying, "Ye shall lie down in sorrow." Now, what is Isaiah saying? Isaiah saying is, if you should build a fire, light a fire, and your fire, the fire that you lit by yourself, should glorify you, should make you famous, rich, well-known, people talk to you, regard you, you shall have from God's hand, ye shall still lie down in sorrow. Now today, we see a pandemic, COVID-19, that seems to have no cure. We see countries trying to bolster their economy by printing trillions of dollars in the US, in Europe, in Japan. In fact, economists say that in 3 weeks, because of the lockdown, the collapse of the economic indicators in 3 weeks was as bad as what happened in the Great Depression in 3 years. So there's no light. From science, from politicians, we seem to, and central banks, we seem to be going out of control. But Isaiah 15:10, one verse before 11 says this, "Who is among you that feareth the Lord, that obeyeth the voice of his servant, that walketh in darkness as had no light?" Now, what it's saying is that if you believe in God, you will have light. You will have no light, you will have light. And even in the darkness, which the world cannot solve, it says this, "Let him trust in the name of the Lord and stay upon his God." So what Isaiah is saying, in the darkness that the world cannot lighten up, you can rely on God. And in that darkness, you shall have light. Now, the greatest darkness before us is what we can't see. And prophecy reveals that to us, reveals that to establish trust in God in our hearts. Now, what Roxana and I will be doing, is to put out these videos on prophecy, snippets, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, so that as you watch these prophecies, it will congeal together, it will integrate, and the picture of prophecy will emerge, as we heard in 2 Peter 1. It will emerge in your hearts, that there will be light in darkness. So I hope that you like this video and that you will, distribute it, and there will be more and more videos to come. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.